Kristen?
Yes.
You're 30?
Yeah.
What's up?
Yesterday morning, I walked out front to the yard, and my friend was sitting there with blood coming out of her leg. When I asked her what happened, she said she had no idea. She didn't really even realize that anything was happening. I took her to emergency about 4 or 5 hours later, and
what happened in those intervening 4 or 5 hours?
She was just pretty dazed, and kind of her equilibrium was off.
But why did you wait so long and take her to the ER?
Because she was waiting for a prescription to be filled.
Oh, for what?
Ultram.
She's on pain meds. What is she on pain meds for?
She's had 4 back surgeries.
Oh, so she's a drug addict.
No.
Yes.
Not at all.
Yes, she's taking pain medicines chronically. So
why was she on your front lawn?
No. She was sitting on the patio. She was going to have a cigarette, and when I walked out there, she had fallen.
Oh, do you live with her?
No, she's up here visiting me.
Okay.
She's taking... What other medicines is she taking?
Ultram and propofol.
Propranolol?
Yes.
You sure?
For anxiety.
Yeah, see, she's taking a bunch of... I bet she's taking even more than that.
All right, so she took a spill.
This is for a drug-related spill.
No, she woke up...
All right, well, no. Well, then what? Then you tell us what's the problem.
It was 10 o'clock in the morning, and I walked out there, and she was sitting there on the ground. The ashtray had broken, and something had cut her leg, and there was blood. And I asked her what happened, and she said, there were people arguing, and I had to show them what's up. And Kelly doesn't talk like that.
All right.
And when I asked a little bit later, I put a Band-Aid on it, and she asked what the Band-Aid was for. And I said, well, don't you remember? You fell. She had no idea what I was talking about. Like, I told her the story 3 times.
Kristen, this is a drug-related experience. That's what this is. I don't know what drug she's taken, but that's what this is.
But, Kristen, what point are you trying to make?
We went to the doctor.
I've been trying to... Yeah, what are you trying to...
We went to the emergency room.
And they told you she'd probably taken some medication or drugs, right?
No. They said because they asked, what kind of drugs do you do? Da, da, da. We said, smoke pot. And so the doctors pretty much, boom, right there. You smoke pot, you probably smoked something that was laced with PCP.
Okay, but Kristen, I want to make a strong point to you. I'm a doctor. I'm telling you this is a drug-related thing. You went to the ER. They told you it was a drug-related thing.
No.
Yeah.
No, I told her 5 times what happened to her, and she didn't understand. And then she ate a bundt cake, and she tried to attack me with one of those cake spatulas. Okay?
That's not what happened.
And I put a Band-Aid on her knee, and she chewed it off.
So they at the ER were also trying to...
No. She said there were some people out there, and she had to do what was right, and she never talks that way. But no.
And so in the ER...
No.
They told her that she'd probably taken somebody giving her some PCP or something.
No, not drugs. No. Then she thought she was Kazoo from the Flintstones. No. And she hovered over my shoulder giving me advice.
Calling me dum-dum.
And sometimes Fred. Kristen?
Flintstone.
Fred Flintstone.
No, just Flintstone.
Oh, he called him just Flintstone. That's right. Kazoo called him. Was it Kazoo?
Dum-Dum and Flintstone.
That's right. Hey, Kristen?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, maybe it was a drug-related thing. I don't know.
But wouldn't that have shown in the doctor's report when they did a blood and urine and EKG?
Nope.
No.
Why not?
Because they have to test for specific things, and if you didn't tell them that she was, what... You told her she smoked pots. They didn't need to test for that.
I told them that... but I told them that she took some medication.
Yeah, and that's all they need to know.
Anxiety pills.
Yeah, well, that's all they need to know is that she's taken medicine and that she smoked pot, and that's enough to make her pass on.
But Kristen, let me just... What are you asking? Do you think she has a tumor, like a brain tumor or something?
Right. Yes, I was, pulled out the medical book, and it sounds like a stroke.
No, absolutely not.
All the symptoms.
No, it's not. I'm telling you what it was. The ER told you what it was. Go ahead, Dr. Kristen. You go ahead and make your own diagnosis.
What do you do for a living, Kristen?
I work in human resources for computer company.
All right, but that's got nothing to do with medicine, right?
No, but...
All right. Well, why don't you get her? No. Why don't you get her? Maybe she should get a CAT scan then if you're so convinced. I mean, it couldn't hurt, right?
No.
Right, but then why don't the doctors do it? Why didn't they, give any suggestions? Why was it the minute she said she smoked pot, he kind of wrote it off?
Because you can do a neurologic exam there in the ER that can pretty effectively rule out, decrease substantially the probability that there's a tumor there. And the story here is so characteristic of substance.
Hold on a second.
Characteristic.
Everybody, just close your eyes for one moment. Picture yourself a doctor, and just picture Kristen and her friend coming in.
Yelling at you, yeah. Carrying on.
Chain smoking in the hospital, yelling no at you. No! Chewing gum, smoking Marlboro Reds, and yelling no at you, and you're pretty much sizing them up. Smell like beer. It's noon. You know what I mean? They got the 68 Dodge Dart running out in the parking lot. And you just pretty much, you smoked some weed, you got disoriented, you fell down.
Well, no. It says she's taking her anxiety medicines and her pain medicines and her multiple back surgeries, and she's doing more than Kristen even knows. That's for sure.
And
guaranteed.
Here's the other thing too, Kristen. Why is she living with you?
No, she came up.
No. No.
By the way.
Oh my God.
Well, you do say no a lot.
You do say no a lot.
Every sentence is begun with no.
She's visiting you, right?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Oh, there's a yes.
How's her life going?
Yes.
Thank you. How's her life going other than this?
Not so well.
No.
So there's
she just relocated down to L.A.
Okay.
After being laid off up here.
Okay. And why'd she get laid off?
Because she worked for a computer company and they're all doing it.
No. Okay. All right. Kristen, I think I understand you're her friend and you're trying to help her, and I think your efforts would be better directed at what we think and what those doctors think is probably the real problem, which is more the drugs than it is the tumor angle.
Right. She's doing more than you know. That's
no.
What, yeah, no.
No, and here's how you deliver it. She's doing more than you. No. All right, we're going to take ourselves a little break. No. Yes.